How's everyone doing this morning? This is Alan over at Motorsport Legends in Topeka, Kansas. This is the first of a series we're going to do on the assembly of a Factory Five Racing Mk4 replica. This is a Mark III that we just finished about a month ago. What we'll do is document the entire build from beginning to end, and hopefully you'll pick up a few things, see some things that you may want to try on your project. Okay, here it is. This is our kit as it arrives from Factory Five Racing. The body is bolted down to the frame in a couple of places, and they loosely fit some of the aluminum panels, so it cuts down on the amount of boxes they have to ship with the kit. The kit does arrive with about 14 boxes full of parts, possibly more, depending on how many options that you order. First thing we'll need to do is remove the body panels. We've already taken inventory of all the parts that arrived with the kit. We'll take all the body panels off, take a couple of measurements on the body, and pull it off of the frame so we can set it on our body buck over here. This will support the body while we're building the car. Alright, got the body off. There's the frame as it comes from the factory. Okay, I've gone ahead and stripped away all the aluminum that was set on the frame when the factory shipped it to us. Bolted it up to my rotisserie here. We can start doing some modifications to the frame. When the factory ships these kits, they go ahead and send it with a provision for a passenger side roll bar. This kit won't get a roll bar. And I go ahead and cut off the stub. You can see I've cut this one off. You can cut it off with a Sawzall, cutting wheel, plasma cutter, whatever it is you've got. But I go ahead and snip those off of there so on the finished product you don't see the stub sticking up. And then grind the remnants of it off. Also, we'll be cutting this bar off, moving it back. It gives us that little rear shelf area. It sits behind the seats. It's a little bit of usable space. You can throw some junk up there. Umbrella, radio, 357 Magnum, whatever it is you need. Okay, one of the other changes I make to the frame, got this little piece of steel here I cut, and it will fit that'll actually fit right inside here. I'll weld that shut, close this tube off, we'll close the one off on the other side. Also like to cap this one that goes across the bottom of the dash. Pretty simple. Cut a few pieces of steel out, trim them to fit, weld them in. What I'm going to do is put these serrated flange nuts on each corner of the frame for a grounding point for our wiring harness. I'll also put a few of them in the dash area, and I'm going to put one over the main frame rail for the battery ground. There's our grounding point. Put the ground cable. Battery's going to end up sitting in this area right here. We'll have a real short ground cable. one of the grounding posts there. And this is the passenger side floor still in progress. You can see we've cut the square tube apart, and then make a template. Of course, I'll trace that template onto a piece of plate steel, then I'll weld it into place. This little bar, we cut this section out, welded another one to it the same size. Basically, we've made a notch, a 3/4 inch notch. Also enlarged the hole in the front of the firewall here on this steel piece with a die grinder, so that now we'll be able to bolt a brake booster, power brake booster into place. You can see the clearance that's been added there for the brake booster.